Hey, hey. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. It's February, y'all. Where did the time go? Where did the time go? Sunday, Monday. So, whew, looking at the messages and seeing what's here. How's everybody doing? Thank you for coming in. For those of you who are here for the replay, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and spending some time with me. Um, I cannot believe that it's February. I'm sitting here thinking about, what, where are we in the garden scheme of things? Where are we in the year? And I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm less than 6 weeks out from my last frost date. So, yeah, um, I need to get moving. Um, I need to start thinking about, not thinking about, I need to start getting some things done so that when I can plant outside, I am ready to go. And I need to start some seeds inside so I can have some transplants ready to go. Now, I am not one for doing a lot of indoors, starting stuff indoors. I prefer to drop seeds outside, but yeah, if I have to, I will. Um, and there are a few things that I want to start indoors that I just have better with starting indoors. One of those is Jamaican sorrel, which I don't have my seeds yet. Um, the seeds I used last year did not germinate, so I went ahead and got some new ones this year, but they should be here in the next day or two, and I need to go ahead and get those started because have a long growing season. Um, but that's one thing that I do start indoors. And this year I'm going to start some melons inside. I feel like I'm not getting them in the ground soon enough, and they're not having enough time to fully mature before the first frost. So I'm going to go ahead and start some melons inside. Um, Not watermelons. I don't think I'm growing watermelons, but I want to grow some honeydew. And I've been trying for the last 3 years, and I have not been successful. This year is my year because I love honeydew. And so I'm going to start some honeydew inside as well, so they can get a jump on the growing season. And then let's see, what else have we got going? Let's see. Well, I've got some herbs that I want to be growing, and lemon balm, chamomile, um, purple coneflower, um, I need to figure out. There's a few others that I have that I want to go ahead and start now. I think those can use. I wanna drop those seeds outside now because I think that they will germinate when the soil gets warm enough. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Let's see. Um, yeah. So how's it going? How's it going for everybody else? How's it going for you? Um, I'm thinking that um, it just happened. Something just happened to my screen. Hold on a second, y'all. There it is. Oh, hey, Two Chains. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Um, yeah, I was just talking about getting started in this gardening season. Hey, Mike, how you doing? For me, it's I'm within that 6 weeks out. I'm right at 6 weeks um um before the last frost day. And so I got a lot to do. And I've been out there working, getting some things done. I'm gonna do a new bed this year. It's gonna be the same. I'm just gonna do it. It's kind of in ground, but I'm gonna have a border around it. Um, and it's gonna be a small one, maybe 3 by 3. Um, bed this year. I'm not even sure what I'm going to put in it, but I want to do at least one, maybe two new beds this year. So there's that. I also want to get what is it called? Um, a green stalk. Is that what it's called? Green stalk? I want to get a green stalk this year. Um, wow, you still have 4 months? Yeah. um, yeah. It's 70. It was 70 degrees today. Actually, it might have been warmer than that. It was a beautiful day today. This weather is so weird, and I don't even want to talk about the weather because it makes me a little bit crazy. Um, yeah, 78 was the high today. It's 51 right now. Yeah, I just planted peas yesterday, before yesterday. I don't remember. But yeah, I just dropped my seeds for my peas. Um, and I know I should have dropped them earlier. And I was like, I should have dropped them earlier, but they did okay last year. So, yeah, -4 tonight. No, 51. That's crazy. Weather for Minneapolis. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Geez, the wind is blowing from the northwest at 18 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 60%. Wow, that's crazy. And we were almost 80 today. Hey, Pam, how are you? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, and so because it's warm out like it was, I went and oh yeah, and the white moths are out already. So it's like, geez, um, I went and I sprayed my fruit trees already because they're not going to be dormant much longer. I like to get in one dormant spray on them, and then once the flowers come out, then um, yeah. Um, Weather for Montgomery: conditions are clear with a temperature of 58 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the west northwest at 3 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 68%. Yeah. So, and I was thinking about it, and I'm trying to figure out. I want to get a green stalk. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do it or not. If I'm gonna, pull that trigger, but I want to get a green stalk, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in it. I know I want to do mostly herbs in it. So there's that. Um, and I so I have to figure out, what's what with that. Um, whew, I'm a little tired. I almost didn't come live today. I've been struggling, really struggling, guys. Um, but I'm pushing through um, as much as I can, doing as much as I can. But anyways, I was saying I was getting out in the yard, and I did done some pruning out there. I've got a short on that. Didn't put anything big out there, but I got my muscadines, um, getting my muscadines in order, and Pam, there's no space between the exclamation point and the weather, but there is a space between the weather and the zip code. So try again. But and then I got some trees. I got some trees coming. I have some more fruit trees coming. I don't know what's wrong with me, but the price was good, and I I needed another apple tree as a pollinator for the one I have because one of mine died last year, and I had picked up one at a local store. Wasn't sure if it would be a good pollinator, so I went ahead and ordered another one. Hopefully, it'll be of a size that it will help. If not, Gina was talking about something the other night, and I think I might try to do it. So I might try to graft um, one of the pollinators onto the tree. Um, so that they'll be at least in the same relative height. So I have the pollinator on the same rootstock as the tree. So that'll be good if it works. I don't know. I'm I'm not sure I'm gonna try it yet, but I'm probably gonna. I'm at least thinking about that. But anyways, but yeah, um, but yeah, I've been trying to figure out, what to get started indoors versus, dropping seeds outside. I um, so yeah, I was trying to remember what peas that I plant. Um, I need to do my diagram, and I usually draw a diagram on where I plant what because sometimes I forget to label stuff. Weather for Ori Oribro. Conditions are snow with a temperature of 31 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the south at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 98%. Wow, snow. So, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out which seeds I want to. I haven't really fit for. I haven't really completed my planning for gardening for what I'm going to plant in the garden this year. Um, I know for sure that I want a bunch of cucumbers, and Weather for New Orleans. Conditions are cloudy with a temperature of 65 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the south at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 90%. 65 degrees, yeah, that's like it is here. But yeah, I do want cucumbers for sure. I'm definitely growing some winter squash. Um, North Georgia Candy Roaster for one, and maybe another variety, maybe two varieties. Mainly because I grew two varieties last year. The squash, the vine borer got one, but the vine borer didn't get the other. And so I'm like, maybe if I plant two different varieties, at least I will get production out of one of them. So I'm kind of hedging my bets on that. But yeah, um, I'm gonna do some lettuce this year outside. I have not been successful with lettuce inside at all, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna try some lettuce outside and see how that goes. I'm gonna try Swiss chard again. Um, haven't been successful with that, but I'm gonna try that again outside, and we'll see how that goes. Um, and then I'm gonna try to do green beans the whole summer long. I did green beans at the end of the season last year, and they did well. They did really good. Hey, Judy Mae Collins, how are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you being here. I'm just chatting it up tonight, garden chat mostly, but there's probably going to be some other stuff in here in the mix. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to do green beans all season long. I know I'm gonna have some cowpeas, the lady cream peas. I'm not gonna plant any, but I know some are gonna come up, and wherever they come up, if they come up in the grass, I'll move them into the garden. And so then, yeah, for sure, we'll be in the bushes watching on TV. Okay, thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. And I'm pretty good. A couple weeks, I'm gonna start some tomato seeds inside. Yep, fat finger typing on my tablet. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Tomatoes. Now, I'm gonna grow some tomatoes this year. I'm not a big tomato grower. I just don't like fooling with them. I think tomatoes are too finicky. That's just my perspective. I guess I just haven't come across a variety that's easy to grow, but it seems like now this is my perspective on tomatoes. If you start them early enough in here, then you may be able to get some before it gets too hot because then it's going to get too hot and then they're not going to do nothing. And then, but the other thing is they, if it's early enough, sometimes it's too damp and so you get powdery mildew. And then sometimes, or it gets too dry and then you lose them. And, or then it's the bugs and the bugs get them. And it's like, with tomatoes, it seems like there's always something. And so I just don't fool with them. I don't love tomatoes that way, and I don't use a lot of tomato sauce. So it's like, why are you fooling with them? But this year, I'm going to grow some tomatoes. Um, so yeah, I'll be dropping seeds for that inside this week so that they'll get some growth on them. And believe it or not, I have a tomato a couple of tomatoes and a couple of peppers from last year that are still alive. I don't know if they're going to make it or not, but they're still alive. I pulled them into the garage for the coldest of days and they hung on. So I'm going to see what they do. Hopefully the rootstock's good on that and they'll go ahead and put on some growth and I'll get some tomatoes out of them. It's just a, um, a little grape tomato that I really like a lot. And and a pepper. I don't remember what. I think it's a leisure pepper, but yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely be growing some tomatoes and some peppers. And literally, with the list that I just went through, Jamaican sorrel, cucumbers, winter squash, lettuce, Swiss chard, green beans, tomatoes, and peppers, that's all of my space. Pretty much all of my space. Now, I do have cabbage and mustard and kale out there. Actually, a red Russian kale survived from last year, and I noticed it out there the other day, so I have that. Um, out there. I have good success with cherry tomatoes here in Ohio. My beefsteak tomatoes never make it. Yeah, Roma's tomato plants do well for me too. I never have any luck growing green peppers. I've had a little bit of luck with green peppers. My green peppers I don't start them soon enough, but I'm gonna do this year. This year I'm starting tomatoes and peppers this week. So they should have some good size on them when after the last frost, and I should get some good sized plants. But um, yeah, usually my peppers are just starting to produce when the frosts come because I just get a late start on them. But peppers and tomatoes are real finicky with the weather too. They can't stand any cold, hardly any cold at all. And so if you get them started too early and you get a late frost or something like that, you're out. They're out. They're done for. So I'm going to be growing my peppers and tomatoes in containers so that if by chance we do get a late frost, I can bring them in the garage. Now, I don't know if that's going to save them or not because my garage will get down to the 40s. On our coldest days here, it got down to the 40s. So maybe that's warm enough. I don't know. I'm drinking water today, y'all. Real water. Actually, I think it's tap water, filtered, but tap water, which is unusual for me. Um, if soil is above 50 and air is above 55, your peppers and tomatoes will grow. 40, no. Well, the soil will be above 50, but the air will get down to 40. Yeah. All, all, all die at 40. Yeah. Yeah, mine lived in the garage at 40, but all mine died at 40. I think what happened is that the soil didn't get below 40 in there. The air temperature did, but the soil never got that cold because, it would heat up during the day. Um, and it would only be that temperature for a little while. I have a thermometer in there that the little electronic thermometers make, and it gives you a readout that'll show you the high temperatures and the low temperatures in the graph, and it would show where it would go down to that, but it will come right back up. It wouldn't stay there very long. So yeah, yeah. I keep saying I'm gonna do this, and I never do. Um, I'm writing notes because if I don't write notes, I will forget. What is today? Today is Monday the 3rd. Okay. Now my trash can hydro pepper was good because the water was warm. Okay. Okay. It survived a couple of frosts. Okay. Yeah, because you were able to keep the water warm. Yeah. 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 Ooh. I was speaking of my hydro. I think I did a show. Maybe no. I need to do a short this week. I need to do a short this week of what's going on my hydroponic because um it's the same stuff. It's nothing new in there, but um the the holy basil and the red vein sorrel is doing really well, and that stuff is sour. It's very sour. I think I guess you would eat it like you would do a spinach or something like that. I don't even know what you do with this stuff, or you could put it in a salad, I suppose. Um, but and then my tomato, that is it I think it's the geranium kiss. That thing is still alive. It's been there for a minute. I need to start another one. um, I've got another unit that I want to go ahead and get started on, and I haven't done it yet because I haven't decided where I'm going to put it. Um, but I do have another unit that I want to get going. I want to put another geranium kiss in there because I've really enjoyed that. It's funny because I don't, like I said, I don't eat a lot of tomatoes. Those little cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes, I like to just as just a snack, and um, that geranium kiss is a nice one for that. I wonder how it would do. Um, I don't know. I wonder how it would do outside. Wife's home. Be back in a minute. All right, Mike. um, but yeah, so that's pretty much. Well, I am getting some plants. I did say I was getting some plants. They should be here tomorrow, actually. I did get another apple. And I got some blueberries. Um I said I was gonna give up on blueberries. Blueberries and strawberries are the bane of my existence. Actually, they're not, but they feel like they are. My strawberries that are out there are fine. They're alive. They managed to live this year. And this is not the first year that I've had strawberries that live the whole year. But they're fine. We'll see what they do. They should start growing and blooming here any minute because it's soon be strawberry season, right? Um, my blueberry, I do have a blueberry. I'm trying to think if I have more than one. I do. I have more than one. I have two blueberries out there. And one of them is one that I picked up at a local store. They were on sale. And they were regularly $20. They were on sale for $10. So I picked up one. I should have got two, but I only got one. And it started blooming last month. I always wanted to try my hand growing strawberries, but I haven't done it yet. Um, eh, okay, don't listen to me because I'm not very good at growing strawberries, but I would suggest if you want to grow them, get some bare root um, strawberry plants. And the only reason I say that is because it's cheaper than buying the plant. The plants are expensive, and you get one plant, right? But whereas the bare root ones, you'll get like a bundle of 10 or a bundle of 20 for almost the same price as you would get for like three starts. So there's that. So I would say get some bare root ones if you can get them from a good source, a good healthy source, and then and and then you would have enough to grow. But the problem with for me with strawberries is that you only get one or two strawberries on a plant, so you need 20, you know? You need 20 plants to have enough strawberries to have, a bunch of strawberries. Okay, 20 strawberry plants take up a lot of space. And so that's the thing that I have, the problem that I have with strawberries. I think I have 5 plants out there. 5 plants is a snack in the garden. You go over, there's two that are ripe. You get them, you eat them, you're done. It's not enough to do anything with, not enough to make a dish with. You might have three, so you could throw them on a salad, but that's about it. Um, you really need more than that. And then if you try to buy 20, say if you try to buy 20 plants, 20 small plants at $3 a piece, or I mean, I don't know what the price is where you are for the smaller plants, but that's what I'm saying. If you try to buy that many plants, So I don't know if I mean, this is the strawberries that I've seen. When I go and pick strawberries, because there's a place right not less than 2 miles from the house where I go and pick in when during season. I pick one or two strawberries off of every plant, you know, on a good day, sometimes four or five, but mostly one or two. Now, they keep producing. There's flowers and unripe ones on that same plant. So you'll get one or two strawberries off of each plant every day, you know? So in a week's time, you may have enough to do something with. But if I have two strawberries, I'm going to eat them. I'm not gonna take two strawberries in the house and then wait for the next day to get two more, and the next day to get two more to have, to be able to have, a strawberry and strawberries in a salad. I'm just not gonna do that. So that's what I'm saying. You want to have a few plants, and then when you start looking at the price of the individual plants, if you're just gonna buy starts, they're kind of pricey, and so you come out better, I think, to buy the bare root ones because at least you get a bundle of say 10 or so. And say then if you get 30 of them and only half of them survive, at least you have enough to make, you know, have some strawberries. So, and if they all survive, then yeah, you're in business. But that's just me, and that's probably because where I grew up, when I grew up, we had a strawberry patch, and I'm trying to think how long it was. It had to be at least 30 feet long by 10 feet wide. That's a lot of strawberries. I don't know how many. There was hundreds of straw plants in there, but it was a project for my brothers when they were in 4-H, and so they did the thing. They were growing them, they were propagating them, they were, separating them, da 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 da. They were selling them and all the things. So we had a bunch of strawberries. We had enough to harvest strawberries and freeze strawberries and things like that. But I mean, that's my whole garden space. When you use like 30 feet by 10 feet, I can't do the math in my head, and it's easy, but what is that? 30 by 10, 300 square feet. I don't have 300 square feet of space um to garden. And if I did, I would definitely wouldn't devote all of it to strawberries. So that's anyway, but that's just my take on it. I'm sure there are other people here who grow strawberries who could um who could probably give you better advice than I can because I'm not. Yeah, I just that part. And I've only tried growing them in containers. I haven't put them in a bed, although I thought about it, putting them in a bed. But the reason I grow them in containers is because of slugs. I have a lot of slugs in my yard and my garden, and so I don't want them right on the ground. I want them up off of the ground, and so that's why I've grown them in containers, in a raised. Mine are in a metal raised bed that's 2 feet off of the ground, and they're in containers on that raised bed. And just because I don't want the slugs to get them. Um, so there's that part too. And then, oh yeah, I did say I got blueberries. I got, I think, four. I think I got four blueberry plants this time. I'm not sure how many I got. Lord knows, I'm not sure. But when I go online and I start shopping, I get a little bit carried away with stuff, and I was like, let's get oh, this one. Well, what's the pollinator for that one? Oh, that one. Well, what's the pollinator for that one? Oh, let's this one. I like this one. And so I ended up with, I think, several blueberry plants, and I got to find a place to put them because I don't. I think I'm gonna put them all in containers as well. Um, Eventually, I will put them in ground, but I think I'm gonna start them out in containers. That way, I have a little bit more control over the light. If they're not liking where they are, I can move them to someplace else. till I can figure out the best spot before I put them in the ground. Eventually, they'll be in ground, but they're going to be in containers to start with. And I've got plenty of containers, thank goodness. Um, Speaking of containers, um, one of my neighbors um, does plumbing work, and there's a couple new subdivisions going in, and when the people who were doing the yard work were out there um, putting in plants, they were just tossing the containers, and he said, um, "Do you mind if I take some of those?" And they're like, "Take all you want." So he gave me like a half dozen, maybe a little bit more than that. I want to say they're either the 3 and 5 gallon. I think there may be one or two that's even bigger than that, but at 3 and 5 gallon size um, nursery pots, the black nursery pots, and so I have plenty of those, and so that was nice. His wife gardens, and he had a bunch of them, but they shared some with me, so that was really nice of them. So I have plenty of containers for my strawberries, and I think I'm gonna leave the apple in a container as well, and make sure I have a 10 gallon one for that apple. But I think I'm gonna leave it in a container as well um, this year to see what's what. But I'm excited about it. So excited about it, and I don't know what possessed me to decide to go online and order fruit trees, but I did. And to be honest about it, sometimes I forget when I do stuff like that when I order it because they don't ship it. They only ship it during dormant season, and so the time between the time you order it and the time they ship it can be a long time. And it's like when you get the email that says, "Oh, your plants have been shipped," you're like, "What? I forgot about that. What? Wait, what?" That's what my son says. Wait, what? Oh, I'm gonna have to hold on just a second, guys. I need to stop the camera for just a minute, but uh yeah, there you go. And we're back. Is that better? Yeah. It looked a little bit hazy to me, so I needed to clean the camera off. I think that looks a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Anyways, and so that's kind of where I am in the garden. I've been doing a little bit of weeding every day. Stuff is popping up. I'm going to do some weed eating tomorrow because the grass is not high enough to pull out the mower yet, but there's enough grass out there that I want it lower. So I'm going to be weed eating. I'm going to be mulching um, in places. I've got some leaves that I'm going to be mulching with, and I'm going to be adding to my beds just for organic matter to break down in the beds. And then just some general cleanup in the garden, getting things ready and maintenance. I got to build the bed, build the frame for the new bed. Oh, okay. I'm headed to bed. I hope you have a good rest of the week. God bless you, my friend. God bless you too, Judy May. Thank you so much. You have a great evening and a great rest of the week. Um, but yeah, just some regular maintenance in the yard. Um, I've got to clean up where I pruned. I've got a bunch of trimmings from stuff that I got to clean up. Some of it I put in the trash for pickup today, but there's still some out there. I've got a burn pile. I'm probably going to burn um, within the next day or two the burn pile and use the ashes in the bed as well. It's more, yeah, I usually do that once. try to do it once a year if I can. So there's that. But yeah, that's about. I'm just trying to think if that's all. That's about all that's going for the garden. I think I updated you guys last time. Can't be for sure because I wasn't on last week. But I think I updated y'all last time to say that I finished raking all the leaves in the front yard. Right about the time when the trees are gonna start to leaf out again. But I did. I finished raking the leaves and getting them into my compost bin. So I'm happy with that. Um, I actually I'm really happy with that because I did it myself. Usually I have help with that. My son or my one of my sons or my husband usually help me with it. But this year I did the entire yard myself. Did all of the raking myself, and I'm really proud of myself. And then I mowed afterwards. After I raked it, I went ahead and mowed and mulched whatever was left. There, just mulched it so it'll feed the grass this year. Um, and I'm kind of tickled that I was able to get it done on my own without any assistance from the men, the men in my life. My boys are grown and don't live here anymore. And so I know I can't count on them. And I also didn't have to pay anybody to do it, although my yard man would have done it. Um, well, he would have mulched it. I don't think he would have raked it. He would have mulched it for me, but I didn't want it mulched. I wanted those leaves in my compost bin, and so yeah, I'm really happy about that. Um, I have not been crocheting. I have not crocheted a single stitch since I was on here 2 weeks ago and was crocheting. So the blanket is not finished yet, but I'm planning to finish it this week because I've found a home for it. A friend of mine's, I think a friend of mine's first grandchild was born a couple of weeks ago, and so I think I'm going to send it to her. So that means I need to finish it up, and it's not much left to do. It's of a size. It's a good size for a baby blanket now. Now it's just a matter of using up the rest of the yarn, finishing up the yarn and putting a trim on it. And I'm not even sure I'm going to put a whole lot of a trim on it, but I just haven't felt like crocheting at all. In fact, I haven't felt like doing anything at all. The being even coming online to do this live stream, um, it was it was much for me. It took a lot to make myself do that. So yeah. But I'm here and I'm glad to be here. And I thank everybody who came in to spend some time with me because I appreciate it. Y'all don't know the difference that it makes um, to me when people show up and spend time with me because, especially now, I just like I said, I'm struggling right now, and and when that happens, it's nice to know that somebody cares enough to at least come in and say, hey, or curious enough about what's going on to come in and say, hey, or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know what it is that inspires people to come in into a thing. Maybe they just want somebody to keep them company while they're at work or whatever they're doing. And if that's the case, that's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all. In fact, that's how I got started going live this time of night anyway, was keeping people company at work. So that's it's cool. It's good. It's a good thing. And there it goes. But anyways, so but yeah, that's pretty much the update from the garden, um, as it goes. And and here's the blanket, as y'all can see. It's almost done. It's like I said, it's of a size. It's not as big as it could be, but it's of a size that it will definitely serve as a baby blanket. Um, I do have about a half a skein of yarn left, so there's that. And I guess I could work on it while I'm sitting here, although I don't really want to. It doesn't really matter if I work on it today or not, because what's going to happen is, um, when I get myself together, um, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to sit down and finish it in probably one sitting, because that's what I do. Once I make up my mind that it's time to finish it, then I'll finish it and then move on to the next thing. And the next thing, I already have another project, um, that I'm going to work on. I've got a couple of requests for things, so I need to get those done. And no, Um, I don't sell the things that I make, but I will make things for people if I can and have the time and energy to do so. I will make things for people. If they request something that I know how to make, I'll do it. I'm not going to try to learn to do something new, um, for people. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I do have a couple of projects coming up. Nothing major, but it'll keep me busy, while I'm in the house on rainy days and things like that. And so I'm excited for that. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Stronger Together Farm Co-op. Bayou Sugar and some others have got together to start a farm co-op. Right now, the tentative name for it is Stronger Together. I think it's what it is. Well, I could be lying. And they're getting to a point. I mean, it's not official yet, but it's getting really close to being official. They're getting, all the paperwork and everything together and stuff. And I just wanted to mention it because if you are growing, if you're out here growing, um, you might be interested in the co-op, because the co-op is going to would help the members to, um, basically to improve their farm. And when I say farm, it's a it's by definition, if you're growing food, it's a farm. So if you've got a garden, if you've got a backyard garden or a patio garden or a windowsill garden, or a deck garden, or any of the above, all of the above, then you classify as a farm, and so you could be a member of the co-op. And like I said, the whole purpose of the co-op is to help its members to grow. And so, if you haven't heard about it, check out Bayou Sugar's page to see if you might be interested in, what's going on with that. If you have heard about it, but haven't looked into it, look into it and see. You might be interested, in it. This is not a membership drive or anything like that. It's just that I don't want people to think that, it's a secret or anything like that. It's not. She started off doing, um, videos on YouTube talking about the possibility of it, and then um, once people said that they were interested in it, she took it to more of a private, setting, But that's not to close it off to anyone. It's just because it's for you know, there's a it's the beginnings of things, and there's a lot of discussion and a lot of learning on all of our parts who are participating in it. And so if you're interested, check out Bayou Sugar's page and look at any of the videos that she has over there that talks about um, the um, the possibility of a farm co-op. And if you're interested in that, um, email her and she can give you more information um, about it. So I just wanted to mention it because I wanted people to be aware that it's not just a discussion anymore. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and um, you might be interested um, in what the co-op is gonna be doing to help the members to grow. Um, so yeah, that's my public service announcement for the day. Thank you. Sometimes I'm so silly. Sometimes I am so silly. But yeah. Trying to just sip on that water, not drink too much because not not that I'm not I drink a lot of water. I pretty much drink water and tea. I try to drink more water than anything else though. And actually, that's pretty funny. That water tastes pretty good, which is kind of amazing to me because I had stopped drinking my water, my tap water, for a while because it was not tasting good to me, and now it's tasting better. I did invest in a countertop filtering system for my house, which that is not filtered through that system. It's filtered to it through another system. Um, but it's still in the box. Y'all, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Sometimes I wonder. I um I ordered the system and I've had it. It's probably been here. It's been here probably 2 weeks. And I need to put it up, but before I can put the system on the countertop, I gotta make room for it. And in order to make room for that, then I have to clean up the shelves in the laundry room because the things that are on the counter that I'm gonna move off, they have to have a place to go. And so right now, I don't have a place for the things that I need to move out of the way. So, anyways, as you can see, um, but I went ahead and got that filtering system because I was buying bottled water. And when you look at how much you pay for bottled water, and I was buying it by the gallon. I don't buy the small bottles. I buy it by the gallon because I drink it. I was buying it to drink at home because I didn't like the way my tap water tasted. And so I said, a lot of the bottled water that I'm buying is just filtered water. I mean, I would get spring water if it was on sale. Otherwise, I would just get drinking water, and the drinking water is it's just filtered water. And I was like, why don't I just buy a filtering system? Um, because for the price of a filtering system, the price of a filtering system is less than what you would pay for bottled water if you buy bottled water for a year. So basically, what I was spending on bottled water, um, and this is even if I was buying it at Costco, which I could get it at Costco for cheaper. I didn't always buy it at Costco though. Sometimes I bought it other places because, um, if they like if Publix had it on sale or if CVS had it on sale, I would get it there. Um, but for the price that I was paying for bottled water, I could buy a filtering system, a countertop system, and save money. Um, well, yeah, that part. So that's what I did. Now I just have to get it up and running and using it. And no worries. I had a bunch of water anyway. I had probably 8 or 10 gallons. Um, because I keep it stocked up. Um, I keep a good stock in the house just in case the water goes out or whatever. Um, so I've got plenty of gallons that I can use until I get this set up. But hopefully, those can be put aside for emergency use, and then I can start using the filtered water for everyday use. So yeah. But y'all like me? Do y'all do like me? I mean, it took me a long time to get that out. But do you buy things and then put them away and don't use them? I've got things. I'm kind of bad about um that with certain things. I will buy them and then I'm not using them right away. Um, so yeah, there's that. But I'm gonna get that together. So maybe next time when I come on here, I can say, "Oh yeah, I got my water system working," and I'm so proud of myself. I got my system up and running. Um, it's interesting. I also bought last year. I bought filters for my outside um, water hose for my garden um, because yeah. And I need to change that filter out. Um, but yeah, they Mike and sifting some soil and more were the ones who told me about those to put them on the hose when you're um for your garden, and you'll find that your plants will do better without all of the additives that the city water has in it. And so yeah, and I I can't say for sure that I see a difference, but I feel better about it. I feel better about it. I mean, I do use a lot of rainwater for sure. I catch rainwater and use a lot of rainwater. But the rainwater runs out eventually. It stops raining eventually, and the rainwater runs out. And so when I'm using um, tap water, um, I like it filtered. What I was doing before I was filtering it is I was filling up containers with it and letting it gas off. And so a lot of the gases, the fluorine, chlorine, or whatever they put in the water will gas off if you let it sit for 24 hours or more. And so that's what I would do. I'd fill up my containers, I'd let it sit for 24 hours, and then I would use that water to water with. Um, and so I basically kind of had a rotation of containers. You use one set today and another set tomorrow, back and forth. So one set was always gassing off while I was using the other set. Um, but now that I have the filter, I can just put the sprinkler on in the garden, and had to sand the sidewalk, a few icy spots. Oh yeah, safety first. Oh man, I am losing my mind. I'm sitting here just crocheting my little heart out. And I messed up. I'm supposed to skip that one. I'm supposed to skip that one. Let's go all the way back to here. Anyways, yeah. Now I'm heating up soup. Yeah, cool. What kind of soup did you have? I made chili yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't know. My days are all running together because they are. But yeah, I made chili a couple of days ago. Um, it was a different recipe than I actually. Okay, first of all, I don't use a recipe when I make chili. I just kind of go with what I have, and basically what had happened was this time when I made it, I decided that I was gonna give it more of a smoky flavor. So I used some smoked paprika and some um, fire roasted tomatoes. And anyways, it was really good. It was really good. Yes, I wing chili, always good. Yeah, minestrone. It's so funny. Minestrone is in one of those soups that I don't know what it is. For some reason, I guess we didn't grow up eating minestrone. If we did, we didn't call it that. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, I use Chipotle. Yeah. Yeah, I use when I shop at Aldi's, I get the fire roasted tomatoes. Um, and if I shop at other stores, I'll get the fire roasted Rotel. I like to use the Rotel tomatoes. Um, but I will use anybody's fire roasted. Doesn't matter the brand, Heinz, whoever, Del Monte, whoever. If they make it's beans and pasta. Okay, okay, beans and pasta. Yeah, but I've never made it to know that I was making. You know what I'm saying? I never know what minestrone really was. I'd heard of the name of it as an adult and that sounds interesting. I wonder what that is. But I never knew what it was. So cool. Is it tomato based? Does it have tomatoes in it, Mike? Um, about the only tomato based that I use, it's not even tomato based either, is hey Miss Shirley, how you doing? Thanks for passing through. Thanks for dropping in to say hello. I hope you're feeling well and are recovering well. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that I really make that's tomato based is chili. As I rarely eat pasta. I will eat it sometimes, but um it's rare. Um and I err on the side of less tomatoes in my chili. More beans, less tomatoes. I think it's got tomatoes in it. One I eat is basically veggies, beans, and pasta. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing that I use tomatoes for is chili. And I usually use the fire roasted ones for that. Um, and I guess I could learn how to um do that myself. Pain meds kicked in, feeling better. Thanks for asking. Okay, good, good. Well, I hope you have a, s- a, complete um, and quick recovery and have as little pain as possible. Thank goodness for good pain meds. I feel like I messed up. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I was saying the only thing that I make that's tomato based is chili. So I don't use a lot of tomato, and I don't make chili often. Um, so there's that. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna grow some tomatoes, because I am. I am. I am. I might even can some tomatoes. If I grow enough, I might can some. I might. I don't know. Oh my goodness. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, we were talking about what kind of soup Mike was making. Yeah, I love soup. I have been making some. I've got baby tomatoes inside. Yeah, me too. um um Cabbage. I've been eating a lot of cabbage lately, and I've been really enjoying making the soup with my bone broth and cabbage, some cabbage, carrots, onions, peppers. Um, and then I've had rice noodles in it on occasion. Sometimes I will drop a whole egg in it. Sometimes I will put a fried egg on top. Um, sometimes I will put some meat in it. I've had it with ham, turkey, um, steak, ground beef. It's like the same base, but it just depends on what is in my refrigerator, what goes in it. But yeah, I'll like chop up some carrots and onions. If I have peppers, um, celery, um, and then and cook those, and then add the broth to it, the bone broth to it, and cook some noodles to go in it. It's really, really good soup. It kind of has I don't know. I don't know. Today is Meatless Monday. Tomorrow I'm having gyros. I can never say that word right. Uh-huh. Um, that sounds good. Do you make your own pita bread? Do you do you use pita bread, or do you use something else? I've never made pita bread, but I want to because it's so good. But I'm not doing bread, so yeah. I don't do Mondays. Um, but I might start doing meatless Mondays. So far, I haven't done meatless Mondays. Just don't do that. I usually do fish on Fridays for Lent, and I want to do that again because I miss sushi so much. I haven't had sushi in so long. I'm like, I'm going to eat sushi on Friday. I don't even know when that is, y'all. I guess it's on my calendar somewhere, one of these calendars. But I'm like, I just need I need some sushi. Can y'all help me out? But yeah, that's what I usually do for Lent, but I haven't done that in a couple years, so yeah, that part. So Lent starts on the 5th of March. But yeah, I haven't had fish in a minute. I don't normally cook fish at home. Um, I usually only eat fish. Actually, I mostly only eat fish when I go to the coast. If I go to the beach, I eat seafood almost every day. But when I'm not on the coast, I rarely eat seafood because it's just not fresh, and I don't like it when it's not fresh. Or at least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But on occasion, I will go out and eat, and have seafood, um, inland, have fish or whatever. And then, but I rarely cook it at home. Mm. But yeah, meatless Monday. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a real, real thing. I ooh, I've really been enjoying the red cabbage the last couple of months. It seems that the red cabbage was what was available at the grocery store. The green cabbage was either not available or didn't look good. And so I was getting the red cabbage, and I have really been enjoying it. But today I had green cabbage. um, and I just had it, really, I guess you would call it saute. I guess you would call it saute. Um, but I had cabbage with some carrots, onions, bell peppers, yellow bell pepper. What else did I have in it? That's all. Sauteed in a little bit of butter, and it was so good. And I thought about it. I said I should take a picture of this plate. I thought about it and I said, nope, I'm just gonna eat it. And I did. I ate every bit of it. Um, I may have it again tomorrow. Same thing. I don't know. I may have something different, but I have cabbage. Cabbage lasts a long time in the fridge. It keeps well, and so I can buy a head of cabbage and cut into it 4 or 5 times for meals. And that's what I did. I just cut a little wedge out of it and sliced that up for the meal. I was thinking about making some kraut. This is making me hungry. Be right back. My soup's heated. Okay. I was thinking about making some kraut. I have everything I need to make it, and I just wanted to do like a little batch of it to see, because I've never made it on my own before. I've never made it before. But I have a whole book on fermenting. Um, well, is it on fermenting? Well, it's on preservation, food preservation, and it has a section on fermenting. But I think I have a book on fermenting too. I think I have both. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I'm almost certain I have both. So, yeah. Hey, Bridget, how are you? Thanks for coming. Yeah. I have this book. This is the one that's just right here, but I think I have another one. Um, that's that's just on fermenting. This one is home preservation, but pressure canning. I thought this one had fermenting in it. Maybe not. Maybe it's the other one. I guess I could go look. Fernal fermentation. Yeah, it does have a section on fermentation. So it's got kimchi, kombucha, sauerkraut, yogurt. Yeah, in here. But I have another book that's just on fermenting, and I've done a little bit. I did some carrots, um, and the funny thing about the carrots, I don't like them straight out the jar, because this is a or ferment with salt. You just it's a brine, um, and it ferments. But I don't like them just out the jar. But I love them cooked. So so you ferment them and then you just toss them in other things that you normally would cook carrots in, and it's a whole different vibe, a whole different flavor. And I love them like that. I tried the radish pods last year, not this past summer, but the summer before that. I grew radish and I don't particularly care for them. So I wasn't really on top of picking them, but then they went to seed and it was like, whoa, this is interesting. And there are radish out there that people grow for, I think it's called rat tail radish or something like that. People grow for the pod, but any radish, when it goes to seed, the pods are edible. And so I pickled those. Well, I fermented those, not pickled, I fermented those. Those I like straight out the jar. They were really good. So if I ever grow radish again, I might do radish this year, come to think about it. For the pods, I will definitely ferment them. Um, I want to try green beans. I didn't do green beans last year because I just didn't have enough to do. Um, I had enough green beans to eat them, but I didn't have enough to do um, any fermenting. So I want to try green beans again and see if I like those straight out the jar or if I prefer them cooked, like I did the carrots. But yeah, and then like I said, I wanted to do the kraut. Now I have done kimchi once. um, but let me tell you, kimchi scares me. I did not the hot one, but or more of a sweet one, and it was really good. I mean, straight up, when you first make it, and it's ready, and you pack it in the jars and everything, right then that day. But when you pack it, it was really really good. And then I packed it in the jars like you were supposed to, and let it ferment. Okay, after a week it was good. After 2 weeks, I was like, I don't know if I want to eat this or not. So. I might try kimchi again. I don't even remember where I got the recipe from. This one had the it had the Napa cabbages and it had Asian pear in it, and I think maybe even apple, may have had apple in it. It was a sweet version, but it was really good. It's great to see you tonight. I'm working on another sweater, so I'll be working and lurking. My love to all. Thank you so much for being here. Bridget, what sweater are you working on? I don't know if you were on the other night when I was on. I got a package from Hobie, and I got some yarn from them. I'm excited for that. It's 100% cotton, so I'm gonna make some um, blouses, shirts, tanks. I don't even know what you call the things. I'm gonna make wearables from those. I'm excited for that. I'm not gonna get started on that until it gets a little bit warmer, though. I'm still working with acrylic right now. um, but once it starts getting warm, I don't want to work with acrylic anymore. I just don't like the weight of it and the heat on me. It makes my hands sweaty. I'm like, no, 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 no. We can leave off of that and go and do something else. But yeah, pretty excited for that though. Oh goodness gracious. Why is this looking crazy? Anywho, so I'm making a granny square sweater or sweater dress, depends on how long until I run out of yarn. Oh, okay, cool. I need to use some stitch markers because, yeah, this is a job for stitch markers. I have seen a lot of beautiful granny square projects lately. Dresses and jackets and vests and sweaters, and they're just gorgeous. Even the shorts, the hats. I'm like, that are made with granny squares. I've seen a lot of really nice ones um, lately. And the thing about it is, I'm not a granny square person. Don't get me wrong. I make granny squares. And I use the granny stitch. I've made lots and lots of granny squares. I think I just made so many. Well, actually, I think what happened. Here's what happened. This is the truth. I made a granny square baby blanket when my niece was born. Now, my niece is, look, she's gotta be 40 something. So this is how long ago it was. And I made a little rosette in the middle of the square in pink, and then I did a trim in blue because we did not know it was going to be a girl. And so we did a little rosette and then a trim in the blue. And I made those little squares. And I made all of those squares and then I sewed them all together to make them into a blanket for her. And it took me a long time to do it, but I did it. And I finished the blanket the day she was born. Literally, I finished the blanket and I was like, hey, look, I finished the blanket. I went home and like within 3 hours, my sister called me and she had gone into labor and my niece was born that day. So, but sewing that together took me so much time that I said, I'm never going to do this again. And the thing of it is, I don't even remember doing it. I just remember thinking I'm never going to do this again. So, yeah. I just finished my sweater with a cute kangaroo pocket and a hook pocket so I can crochet and knit out of it. Oh, nice. Very nice. So, I don't think I really have an aversion to granny squares. I just think I do. So, yeah, that part. But then that's how things go. Once we tell ourselves things, sometimes until we tell ourselves something different, yeah, we're stuck with that in our heads because we said it. Like Jean-Luc Picard said, make it so. We made it so. And the only thing we can do about it is unmake it. So, but yeah. But anyways, I appreciate you being here, Bridget. Um, And I almost wasn't here myself. I did. I really considered not coming on live. I've been not feeling well, not physically, but more mentally. Haven't been feeling well and just haven't felt like interacting with people. Just kind of been in my own little bubble here in my house, and I don't know, it just didn't anyways, I've been struggling. And so coming on here um, was not something that I really wanted to do. But I did it anyway because I missed you guys. And I enjoy the time that we spend together. Yeah, Mike, but it's not, to me, it's not physical with me. I'm not physically ill at all. It is completely mental and emotional and yeah, that whole thing. And there's just a lot going on in my head, and I have to, you know, get through it. That's all. Is it all? So, but yeah, a lot of people have been really sick lately with things going on, and I'm, I'm hoping and praying that everybody comes through it okay. My my neighbor, um, he's not doing well. Um, Saw him the other day, talked to him the other day from across the yard. He was like, "Don't come any closer. I've got the COVID." I was like, "Oh no." So, but and he's not doing well. He's to start with, and then to have, an infection on top of that. He wasn't able to go to work, and that kind of thing. And it's like, so yeah, it is what it is. And so I swear on everything, I would never do another granny square anything after the king size blanket. But I'm defiant, even defy my own self. Yeah, that part too. I know, and it's like, um, technically this is not a granny square because it's a star. So, but yeah, it's a granny stitch. It's a granny stitch. So yeah. It was quiet tonight in the lives. Even the big lives didn't have many. My short today, like 5 views, normally 500. Wow. Yeah. There's a couple of viruses going around now. I had I guess it's been about a month and a half ago. When I got sick, the doctor was saying, yeah, been seeing a lot of this, da 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 da, and it's like I don't even want to go to the doctor for, normally do my checkups this time of year, and I don't even want to go in for those because there's so many sick people going in, so many sick people going in, and it's like I don't want to be in the same room. Uh, and we were somewhere. I don't remember where we were. We were somebody, and somebody was coughing. It was like they were like, and you were like, and you're like, and everybody was like looking like, and leaning, looking and leaning like, oh God, what do they have? Is it contagious? Am I gonna get it? Um, oh, I know where I was. I was at the pharmacy. I was at the pharmacy picking up meds, and I needed to go inside. Normally, I just go through the drive-through, but I needed to go inside because I had some paperwork I needed to take in, and somebody was there, and they were coughing, and I was like, oh gosh, why didn't I wear my mask? So yeah, and the pharmacist had on a mask. I was like, oh, yeah, it's bad. Hey, Auntie Ellen, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, but yeah, I'm okay though. I mean, I have been through times like this before. No, I'm not coughing. Yeah. I've been through times like this before, and I'll get through it. So that's not a problem. But it's difficult for me to um like do this live stream. Um because my energy is low. Hey, Jessica, how are you? My energy is low. Um, you guys may have heard the analogy of the spoons. Like we all start off with 10 spoons to get us through the day, right? And it takes, so many spoons to do this and so many spoons to do this and so many spoons to do that. And at the end of the day, you tally up your spoons and you see how many you got left. Well, um, at the end of the day, I'm at a deficit. I don't have no spoons left. And so when I get my 10 spoons tomorrow, four of them are going to have to pay for the deficit for the day. So then I'm working on 6 spoons. So I feel like every day I'm getting at a deficit, and at a certain point, I'm only working on like 2 spoons instead of 10. And then I need to just shut down everything and totally recoup till I can build back up to 4 or 5 spoons so I can function again a little bit. Um, but when do you have time to build back up to the 10 spoon? So where you're not operating at a deficit the whole time. Yeah, that part. And so right now I feel like I'm operating in a deficit situation with my energy. Um, but I know that it will pass, and that you know, it's taken me a lot to get through this right now, but I can get through it. It'll pass, and I'll be back up. So, yeah. I run out of spoons every afternoon. Just woke up from my nap. Spoon cycle here too. Yeah, that's just one way the, to describe my energy level at this point. And so it's interesting. There's certain things that I do that kind of are recharging to me. Like when I go outside, and like I go out when I go out in the yard and I'm just hanging out. Um, Sometimes it feels like it's a recharge. Sometimes when I work in my garden, it feels like it's a recharge. But on other times it doesn't. So like tomorrow when I'm going to be working in the yard, I'm going to be weed eating. That is not a recharge. That's going to take extra spoons. but but I'm also going to spend some time um like spreading mulch around. That's gonna be more of a recharge. And so some items do that. Um, coming on live, it takes energy. It's not a recharge for me, but that's okay. Um, I'm here and I'm doing it, and we're making it through. I need to work on my spoons. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Exactly. Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. But there are certain things that really help me um, to get through, and I try to do some of those things every every day. Like I said, going outside, spending some time. Uh, Spending some time in the sun. The sun was shining today. That was so good. That was so, so good. And it was funny. I was standing outside and Bella was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" Because I was just standing there. I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing there. And it just felt so good to be just alive, you know? Um, so I'm not complaining that it was almost 80 degrees today. Not complaining at all. Uh, you can be the big spoon, Auntie Ella. When I do live stream, it takes all of my spoons by the end. Yes, that it does. Um, and I think that for introverts, um, it does. That's one of the things that introverts deal with that extroverts may not. And I don't know what it's like for extroverts, but anyways, Saturday we had 40. I sat in the sun and fed the squirrels. Yeah, exactly. I even stood outside in the night, Mike, because it was warm enough. When you have 50 degrees at night, you can stand outside and check out the moon. Speaking of which, the moon is, I think it's heck if I know. I was gonna say it's the first quarter, but I think I might be wrong. The moon is in the seventh house. I'm just playing. It is the first quarter. It's not quite a first quarter. First quarter is on the 5th. But looking at it tonight, and it was, I don't, we call it when the crescent is up like that. Now this is moon lore for you guys. When the moon is up and the crescent is up like that, then we say that it's holding water. It's going to rain, and the crescent will turn. It will tip, and when it turns to the side, y'all, I can't do this. Let me try this with you. Okay, here you go. If the crescent is like this, it's holding water, but when it tips like this, it's gonna rain. That part. And so I was like, oh, we're going to have rain in the next 2 or 3 days. So I was looking out there because I was looking at the moon because it was definitely holding water. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. That means I need to get out tomorrow and get some stuff done in the yard before the rain comes, because we had rain a few days ago and the ground is still a bit damp. But I need to get some things done before it gets soggy again. Cats and dogs sit in the sun spots too. Yeah. Bella was out in the yard today. She was out in the yard almost all day today, and she's just sitting like this with her nose on her paws in the ground, and her eyes are like half open. I was like, I know you sleeping with your eyes open. Chickens like to sunbathe and take dust baths. Don't have any now though. Yeah, I was gonna get a couple of quail. I still might do that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I got so many things I need to do. Not just want to do. Need to do. But yeah. So did anybody see the video that Indiana Backyard Gardener did on the, what is it called, vacuum sealer bags? Hugo Rowe did one too about 2 or 3 months ago on the vacuum sealer bags. Actually, several people have done videos on these same bags. Um, I should reach out to the company and ask them to send me some so I can do a video on them too. Except I'm not really good at doing that. So, yeah. Hey, Drini, how are you? Yeah. Um, do y'all use a vacuum sealer? I was just wondering. And if you do, what do you use it for? And what don't you use it for? Are there things that you would not vacuum seal? And why? So one of the things that she said about the bags that she used was that they're reusable, that they're dishwasher safe, and that they are reusable. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because I didn't know that they were reusable. Now, I don't reuse Ziploc bags. Um, I know you can. I take that back. I will reuse a Ziploc bag depending on what I put in it. So, flour my owl just acting up, so that's why I'm still up. Oh, yeah. I feel for you, sis. I hope you get to feeling better. Um, yeah, I mean, I will reuse depending on what I'm using it for. Like if I just putting like some snacks or something in it to take with me, yeah, I'll reuse that. But if I'm using it for meat or something like that, I do not reuse those. Um, but knowing that they are dishwasher safe and reusable, that says, oh, I say when I think that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how many times can you reuse them. And they also You can be also use them to sous vide in. I don't sous vide, but I know that there are people who do. So, anyways, I was just wondering about these bags, if anybody was using them and whatever. Um, what they thought about them. What about do you actually use a vacuum sealer? I have a vacuum sealer. It was gifted to me. Um, and I do use it on occasion. I don't use it often, but I think I will use it more this year because I am growing of the things that I'm growing. Um, I'm growing some things that can be um, frozen, and I think I would prefer to. Oh my goodness, to freeze them, to vacuum seal them, and then freeze them, versus to use freezer bags. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. Just a question. I'm just asking. My wife suffers from that. Yeah. Yeah, my niece has fibroids and it got worse after she was in a car accident. It was like that was some kind of a trigger or something. But it got really worse after that, and since then it's been really bad. Um, so yeah, but I hope you can find some relief. Um, Good night, Jessica. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. I will see you. I ain't gonna say that. I would. I usually say I'll see you guys in the YouTube streets, but I haven't been in the streets lately. Um, so, but I'll see you around. I'm sure I will. You take care. But anyway, I was thinking about ordering some of those bags because the price point is good on those, and I do use my vacuum sealer from time to time. So at some point, I'm gonna have to get some bags from somewhere, so I might as well get those, right? I took a muscle relaxer and the heating pad. Yes, I love my heating pad. My heating pad is right there. Because this is my spot. This is my spot when I'm up and about. This is my spot. And that heating pad comes with me. When I come out the bedroom, it comes with me. When I go back in the bedroom, it goes back in there with me. Because that heating pad, heat is wonderful. Heat and cold. It's funny when my kids were little. Don't forget a thumbs up before you head out tonight. Thank you, Jessica. Stummies, stummies, stummies. When my kids were little, every time anything would happen to them, I would go get the ice pack. Go get the ice pack. It didn't matter what it was. Go get the ice pack. My stomach hurts, go get the ice pack. My head hurts, go get the ice pack. I cut myself, go get the ice. That was like my number one thing. My kids are like, and it's funny because now they go get the ice pack, but because I mean they're into sports, and so generally with most sports and injuries, you ice it. 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. You ice it, and so they know the whole ice um routine. And then the other thing is when it's something else and the ice doesn't work, then I'm like, well, get the heating pad. And it's like that's my kids are like, Mama, do I use ice or heat? I'm like, you might want to take some Tylenol for that. They're so used to ice or heat, which is a good thing. Oh goodness. And so I'm happy that I decided to pick up my crochet hook since I hadn't crocheted in 2 weeks. I really need to finish this blanket. Um, but at least I got a row done while I was sitting here tonight so far, thus far. So yeah, I have to oh yeah. Um clothes in the washer, so I need to switch them over to the dryer. Um and uh-oh, what happened? Really? Are you guys still there? I'm still here. Are you still there? For some reason, my Wi-Fi, it appeared to just disappear for a minute. Anyways, I appreciate everybody who's here. Okay. It just, the screen went blank for a second. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, my signal looks fine. And it did it again. What the heck? First of all, this is crazy. Ugh. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. You were fine when I, okay. It just blinked at me again. I've had this today, all day, actually today, I've had some glitches in my internet. I don't know what's going on. And so I have to figure out what that's all about. Uh-oh, well now it's freezing a bit. Okay. It, the screen flashed at me a couple of times. It went completely blank for a second or two, and then it came back. It said uh, it had a little symbol up there like the Wi-Fi was out, but it's not. I'm checking my Wi-Fi says strong signal, so yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Thanks. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you. Um, but anyways, it's been kind of crazy today. My on my phone, but I have had no problems at all on my computer today, so I don't know what that's all about. None at all on my computer. I don't know. And there's not like I'm trying to think if there's what all is pulling on the Wi-Fi right now. So I've got a couple of cameras. Well, that's about it, really. And my phone. That's about it. Oh well. Anyways. So anyways, Mike, what pH meter do you use? Do you use strips or do you have a meter? And I think you've said it in one of your videos before. So forgive me for asking again. And I've asked you before. I almost bought one and then I was like, no, I actually almost bought I don't know what the other one is called, dissolved solids meter, but that's not what I wanted. I really wanted a pH meter. Um I'm bad I don't use one. Okay, all right. So, I was wondering about, I think I have some strips though. It's been ages. I might just go pick up some strips because I can get some at the drugstore. Um, I used to use them. I used to have pH strips and I used to use them before. But I my lettuce, my lettuce did not come up, and I don't know why. The everything else came up and is growing fine, but the lettuce did not come up. And I planted like three different varieties of lettuce in my hydroponics, and it didn't come up at all. And I'm like not happy with it. Now I've grown lettuce before, but not indoors. I've only grown it outside in container. So I don't know what the heck that was going on with that. And I was thinking, well, maybe Mike is right. Maybe I need to check the pH of it. But I've been using filtered water. I don't buy distilled water. I guess I could buy just some distilled water and try again. But I'm like, I think you were gone. I was saying that I bought um, a water filter system, countertop water filter system, um, to use inside, because I wanted to stop buying bottled water. I was spending too much money on bottled water, and I was like, you might as well get a system. Um, I should get a whole house system, but I'm not going to do that right now. But I did get a countertop system, and so I'll have that water instead. But when I did a price comparison of it with what I was spending on bottled water in a year's time, it's worth it to buy buy a system. Even with the cost of the filters. Um, if you get the right system, you don't have to replace the filters so often, but ever so often, then yeah, even with the price of the filters, it's more cost effective to have a system than it is to buy bottled water. I mean, I'm still gonna buy bottled water if I'm traveling or something like that. Um, but as far as around the house, because I don't like the taste of our tap water, yeah, I decided. But the problem is, Mike, it's in a box. I gotta make room for it on the countertop. Gotta take something off the countertop to make room for it. Um, so yeah, that part. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in the next day or two because you know, I'm committed. I am committed. And I can also feel better about, the water for my plants inside and stuff like that. So there's that. Bella's knocked out. Well, I think she is. Her eyes are open. She sleeps with her eyes open. It's kind of freaky when you look at her and say, "Yeah, I'm talking about you." It's kind of freaky when you look at her and her eyes are open and she is snoring. But yeah, that part. Yeah. Yeah, I have been looking at it for a while, Mike, and I wrote the company um a letter and everything, and they never even responded. But I still wanted that one, so I went ahead and bought it. Yeah, it is kind of freaky when you're like um your eyes are open and then you get down, you can get right in her face and look at her. And then she'll go, you're like, okay, so you can smell me. Ah, that's pretty funny. But yes, and she woke up, she looked at me, she laid her head back down, and now her eyes are open. They're not open, but they're like, okay, can you see my eyes? They're like open like that. They're not open like that. They're open like that. But yeah, it's kind of freaky. But what's funny is my nephew, when he was younger, he used to walk in his sleep and his eyes would be open and he would just walk out of his room and he would stand there and you're like you were waiting for him to say something or do something. He wouldn't. He would just stand there. And then you just go up to him and you go, "Come on, baby, let's go get back in the bed." And you would turn him around and put him back in the bed, and he would never wake up and have no memory of it whatsoever. And my son, I don't think he was asleep, but he was a creeper. And so you will wake up in the middle of the night and my son would be standing beside you looking at you. And I would like literally I would be asleep and I open my eyes and he'd be standing there. And I'm like, we need to start locking doors. It's like, because that's freaky to wake up to somebody just standing there. And it was like, I don't know if he was awake or asleep. And I'd say, baby, are you okay? And he would respond. I'm like, why don't you go get back in bed? And he'd turn around and go back to his room, and I'd go and make sure he got in the bed. And he didn't really remember, so he might have been asleep. I don't know. It was freaky. It's just freaky. I'm like, I can't. And the thing of it, me being a mom, I can't stand the door being closed, his door or my door being closed when my kids are asleep. I want the doors open because I want to hear them. I want to hear them breathing. Because I'm that kind of mom. I'm just I've always been a nervous mom. um, and so I want to hear them breathing, and and s- and so, but on the other side of it, I don't want anybody standing over me when I'm sleeping. So, so it was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how I can sleep with this door closed. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. It's been a couple hours, and yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. I plan to be on here next. Oh, wait a minute, before I go, I do plan to play on next week. If I'm not gonna be on next week, then I will definitely um put a post on my community page to let you know that I'm not gonna be on. But I plan to be on next week. Um, But before I go, I was saying earlier in the night, and I don't know if everybody was here, anybody was here listening to it or not, but if you're a gardener, check out Bayou Sugar's page and where she's talking about the starting a cooperative. Um, and look into what's going on with that. It's definitely going to happen. It's gonna happen. It's happening. I should say it's happening. It's um, getting close to the point of filing paperwork and everything. And anybody who has a garden, and maybe even some other things, um, will definitely be able to be a member if they want to be a member. I mean, there's some stuff. So, but yeah, I think it would benefit. It could be beneficial. So, go to Bayou Sugar's page. I think she did a couple of live streams about it. I think they're still available. And if you're interested, you know, send her an email, or you can send me an email if you're interested and want to know more about it. Yeah, I'm not, trying pushing for members or anything like that. I just want you guys to be aware. That's all. And yeah, oof, I gotta do something to this hair. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna say goodnight. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody coming in and spending some time with me. And I will see you next week and around the YouTube streets. See if this works today. There it is. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.